Hello and what's up, political peeps and transit yappers alike? Welcome back to Transit Talk Tuesday, here today on another fine Tuesday, August 20th of 2024. And today we're going to do it a little differently than we did last time. Instead of throwing a couple big transit topics, we're going to break down a couple other transit news related items, going over some graphics, some stuff from the MTA and other transportation authorities, tying transit into politics, and then wrapping up with a super cool fair anomaly coming from New Jersey Transit. So you guys let us know in the comment section below if you guys like this format, if you prefer the bigger topics, or just me talking here with some other graphics like here and there, or you like the slideshow kind of piece by piece format. So please do let us know your opinion on that front. So like I said, it's a big episode here on Transit Talk Tuesday presented by The Geopolitical. Before we begin, please be sure to follow us on all platforms. LinkedIn, check us out at RFA Kapoor to get some more updates about my life, other things that I do relating to geography, politics, and public transportation. Check out our Substack for publications every so often on my blog and etc. Please be sure to check out our website at www.thegeopolitical.net for more information concerning all of my works, and of course links to my YouTube channel, which can be found at the geopolitical-22, and of course my Spotify, where all of the podcasts are posted all the way back to October of 2022, which can be found at the Geopolitical itself. So our first topic of news for this episode of Transit Talk Tuesday, the G train shutdown from the MTA continues. No G train service during this phase 3 of the process is running between Bedford Nostrand Avenues and Church Avenue on the G train in Brooklyn. Service will run every 8 minutes from Court Square in Queens to Bedford Nostrand Avenues in Brooklyn, and then shuttle bus service will connect Bedford Nostrand Avenue to J Street Metrotech, making that extra stop at J Street Metrotech, even though the G typically doesn't. It typically goes from Hoyt Skirmahorn and interlines with the F to Bergen Street down to Church Avenue. And then as this renovations and other stuff takes place along the G line, the shuttle bus can drop people off at J Street Metrotech. So when it interlines with the G going into through downtown Brooklyn, and then following from Bergen Street to Carroll Street to Smith and 9th Streets through 4th Avenue, 9th Street, making a couple more stops, including Fort Hamilton Parkway, and then finally reaching Church Avenue on the G. So now with that, here's a video published by the MTA, kind of with an update. I know we posted one shorter video on the last episode of Transit Talk Tuesday, but here's an update on the G-Train modernization, a quick video.
We're getting ready to wrap up Phase 2 of the G-Train Signal Modernization Project on August 12th. Here are some highlights of the work we've completed. Phase 3 begins August 12th and continues through September 3rd, 2024. Thanks for riding with us.
So yeah, G-Train service is being replaced, but as you can see, a lot of crucial things and process has been made. Those cables that are pulled will allow further CBTC, which will allow more frequent trains on this crucial Brooklyn Queens cross down line. And if you want to learn more about why this is so crucial, link in the description to last week's Transit Talk Tuesday episode, because this is truly one of the most crucial lines in the New York City subway, and that's why being able to bring these trains closer together and run them in a safer fashion is very beneficial. Now, Court Square was mentioned, and by the way, that video was posted a couple weeks ago during Phase 2, but now, of course, we've made it to Phase 3. Phase 3's visual is on the left of your screen as we speak. But Court Square has an important connection to very dense neighborhoods in Queens on the 7, as well as Manhattan on the 7 E&M trains. And then the Broadway station provides a vital connection, which is typically not there but is being implemented because of the G train shutdown, with a connection to the J and Z, which go down to Lower Manhattan and the Financial District, the connection to the 6, which takes you up to all the big places, Grand Central Terminal, etc., as well as the M, which is a crucial access point to Middle Village on Metropolitan Avenue in Queens, and other parts of Manhattan running along 6th Avenue. In addition to that, J Street Metrotech, which was mentioned in the video on the screen, has connection to the AC, F, and R trains, which do connect to Manhattan on all of the trains, as well as the Rockaways on the A, and the Financial District on the R, as well as QBL on the F and R, which is a line that runs along Queens Boulevard, thus Queens Boulevard line, connecting many dense neighborhoods throughout Queens, all the way up to Jamaica 179th Street. Now, moving on from the G train shutdown, please check out the other video for more. MTA is still continuing their work on pen access. If you're not sure exactly how it works, please see the graphic right here. As you can see, the Pelham Lane Bridge is approximately where New Haven Line trains split from Amtrak's Northeast Corridor, which is coexisting with the New Haven Line corridor from the Pelham Lane Bridge, or where New Rochelle is, and New Rochelle Yard, all the way up to New Haven Union Station. But the New Haven Line trains who are set to go into Penn Station will be branching off onto Amtrak trackage and going down the Northeast Corridor up until Penn Station. And you can see there's plans to create many new stations along this line, including at Co-op City in the Bronx, Morris Parks, Parkchester Van Nest, etc. On top of this, the MTA has released many renderings for these stations. Here are some of the renderings from the MTA that they have released concerning this. So this is the Parkchester Van Nest station. A little cool and modern, I have to say, especially for MTA New York City Transit. It looks a little bit fancier than a typical modern day commuter rail North American Northeast station. And I like it, honestly, the bright sea transparent windows going down onto track level, and it looks like a cool overpass. I'm just concerned on how this will be maintained, because this looks beautiful from the rendering. Now the Co-op City station looks a little bit more like a typical commuter station, a nice flyover overpass, and you can kind of see the theme of the New York State branding here. Hunts Point station, again, a little more typical, but with cool overhanging, and then the entrance to the station does look nice in this rendering. And then finally, the Morris Park station, which is extremely similar to the Co-op City if you compare them. I think they're almost identical, but excluding the naming. So both of those are extremely similar, but regardless of that, these renderings look great. And now the main work that's being done is the Bronxdale Avenue Bridge, as of the May of 2024 newsletter that was released by the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, because now this line, the Amtrak line, in some parts is very old on this Northeast Corridor and only has 2 tracks, so they need to improve these 2 tracks, put up to 4 tracks on some areas, because having an entire new railroad running on these tracks is a lot of work, and thus will take a lot more strain on the tracks. And so everything needs to be revitalized, and new tracks have to be added in some areas. Moving on from that, One Metro New York is continuing its rise among the New York City community. Now, open loop payment systems versus closed loop payment systems is the main reason why this is being implemented. Now, for example, going into a new city, you're coming on, like, for example, off the plane, off a JFK airport in New York. The MTA wants you to take public transportation, but the thing is, you go up to pay for the air train. How do you have to pay? Up until a couple months ago, you have to get a Metro card, so you would have to go stand in line at a Metro card machine. You would have to look at the different fares, and then it would be a screen that would come up. It's like, you want to pay for 30-day unlimited, 7-day unlimited, pay per ride, single ride pass. There's so many different options. It's confusing for a tourist, right, who's never been to New York, maybe doesn't even speak English fluently. It's become very extremely hard. And that's a block for people using public transportation, when you can just hop in a cab and pay them 50-60 bucks to get back into Midtown Manhattan. Now with Omni, that's totally skipped. We can just tap with a credit card onto the Omni readers using near field connection, aka NFC, and boom, we're in. It could either be the JFK air train. Now that has also been implemented upon the Roosevelt Island tram, the Beeline bus, the Nice buses, and the Hudson Vale Link. I recently had a great experience with the Roosevelt Island tram while using Omni to pay, and it totally skips the step of having to go and get the credit card set up. And before, the main block for Omni was, number one, what if you have to pay cash and you don't have a credit card? Because a lot of people are not fortunate enough to have a credit or debit card. That's why these Omni vending machines are coming into play. You can now tap an Omni card and take one out. Now, for a limited time, they're only costing $1, but they will soon cost $5. Before, you could only get these at convenience stores. Now, you can get them at a variety of stations throughout the system. And you can literally just tap with the Omni card, and then boom, you're in to the system. And then this Omni card also implements something called fare capping. So it doesn't completely eliminate the whole 30-day Metro card thing or 7-day Metro card thing that we had going on with the Metro card. And here is a quick video from the MTA on how this fare capping works. Although it is kind of a complex system, you get the same deal as the 7-day fare capping.
How does fare capping work with Omni? Fare capping works for all New York City Transit subway and local, limited, and select buses. Just tap and go with the same credit or debit card with the contactless symbol, smart device, or Omni card. Pay for 12 trips in a 7-day period, and you'll automatically receive unlimited free rides for the rest of that week. Start any day, and $34 is the most you'll pay until the cap resets in 7 days. You only pay for the rides you take without the upfront cost. Just make sure you use the same payment method for all of your trips. Everything you tap has its own cap. So even if your smartphone and wearable are connected to the same credit or debit card, each payment method builds towards its own unique fare cap, and the trips can't be combined. The 7-day fare cap only works for paid Omni trips, so your free transfers don't count. If you want to track your progress towards reaching the fare cap, you can sign up for a secure and free Omni account at omni.info. Simply link your fare payment method to your Omni account. To find out more, visit mta.info/save. Thanks for riding with us.
This is making it much simpler, and like they mentioned in the video, without the upfront cost of having to pay the $34 at a Metro card machine. If you use only 11 rides, you only have to pay for 11 rides instead of the full $34. But you could easily take advantage of that 12 ride trip if you're going 7 days a week if you're working, or even if you're working 6 days a week round trip, that's 12 trips. So you're already breaking even there. And then if you go out for Sunday, if you're, especially particularly if you're a New York City resident, or even if you're vacationing and taking the subway multiple times a day, this open loop payment system means that you don't have to worry about buying a Metro card. You can just go in and out. Now, another blocker has been student Omni cards and reduced fare Omni cards. Thankfully, just 2 weeks ago, when you're seeing this video, the new student Omni card has been piloted by the MTA.
Hey New York City students, welcome to Omni. Just tap and go with your student Omni card at any subway turnstile or bus. It's that easy. And now you can travel all day long, not just during certain hours. You get 4 free rides every day of the year, including weekends and during the summer. One card lasts the whole year. Thank you for riding with us.
So now the student block thing is not a component anymore, not an aspect in this Omni battle to phase out the Metro card up ultimately and drive more people towards public transportation, because some people unfortunately haven't realized that Omni is a thing yet and are still relying on the Metro card. But because of that, the Metro card is expected to be phased out by the end of 2025, although that date has been set, a couple of times by the MTA, and they don't necessarily uphold that every time. But given that Omni vending machines have been rolled out consistently across the system, it is a possibility to have the 2025 end goal for the removal of the Metro card. Now, in addition to this, a great thing that could happen with Omni is that to be implemented into the 2 railroads that the MTA operates, the Metro North Railroad as well as the Long Island Railroad. The only hindrance to doing so has been the reason that all the other fare methods that Omni has been implemented into have used a flat rate across the board. The flat rate may be fluctuating, but it has been a flat rate, although railroads use zone-based rates. So because of that, it's very hard to program Omni in the proper way, especially even if you're doing a tap in and a tap out system, like you tap in to get on the commuter rail and tap out. How will that work with families, etc.? So that is currently being worked around, like a way to implement Omni into railroads. It's a big week for New Jersey residents and people who use New Jersey Transit on for their daily commute or if they're going on vacation. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, guess what? Fair holiday. Nobody riding New Jersey Transit will have to be pay fare at all from August 26th to September 2nd. The government even went as far as saying that if you paid for an August fare monthly package already, they will give you 25% off your September one to make up for the lack of free week. Now, this applies to all New Jersey Transit buses, all New Jersey Transit commuter rail, the Hudson Bergen Light Rail, all other New Jersey Light Rail, even the River Line, which has been at the heart of these issues that are prompting the agency to initiate this free fare holiday, given that on the Northeast Corridor, signals and with along with Amtrak have been a huge hindrance to proper service on the New Jersey Transit Northeast Corridor line, as well as the River Line, given its age, etc. New Jersey residents don't have to pay fare at all. They don't have to scan a ticket. They don't have to validate any ID or whatsoever. They just hop on the trains and hop off for that entire week. Just keep in mind this does not apply to like the Newark Liberty International Airport Air Train, the Port Authority Trans Hudson, the Patco buses or trains or anything of that sort. This only applies to New Jersey Transit services. And for our last topic of today, the 2024 election will be very, very crucial for public transit advocates across the world, given the $550 billion Transportation Infrastructure Act that was signed by US President Joe Biden in the year 2021, but that will expire in 2026, which will be well into the new presidency. So that means that the future president and this presidential election is crucial for the funding required for public transportation across the country. Now, in the past, Kamala Harris, the presidential candidate for the Democratic Party, has pushed for electrified buses across the nation. And in addition to that, the running vice president for the Democratic Party, along with Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, was part of the Congressional Bicameral High Speed and Intercity Passenger Rail Caucus, which promoted other intercity rail means and high speed rail platforms, etc., including the Amtrak Acela Express. In addition to this, Justin Balick, the program director at climate change advocacy group, the Evergreen Action, noted that a future president in Donald Trump and his running mate JD Vance as vice president are going to be actively hostile to mass transit, which would not look good for the community. It is truly a possibility given past given the lack of interest President Trump has showed to public transportation in the past years, especially compared to his Democratic counterparts. And with that, thank you so much for listening or watching today's episode of Transit Talk Tuesday. Please be sure to check out and follow us on all of the other platforms that we listed at the beginning of the episode. And they are all right here, just in case you missed that earlier on. Please be sure to follow, like, subscribe, and all other of those kind of jazz on whatever platform you guys are listening or watching to. And with that, you guys know the drill. I'll catch you guys next Tuesday. Peace out, Transit Yappers.